What's up everyone, Darcblade here with a Hunter's Guide to Monster Hunter Rise. This little video is aimed for new players to Monster Hunter Rise who have come to the game via the PlayStation, Xbox and Game Pass. Now most of you may have come over from Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, and there are a few distinct changes that I'm briefly going to cover in this little tip video. Now first of all, in Monster Hunter Rise, quests are divided into village and hub quests. Village quests are solo quests only. Okay, you can bring your palicos and palamutes on the hunts with you, but they cannot be done in multiplayer. These quests generally progress the main story of Monster Hunter Rise, at least the early portions of the story anyway, and as a result are slightly easier than the other quests you would find in the hub. And speaking of which, you have access to hub quests, which are found in the Gathering Hub. Hub quests are slightly more difficult as they are mainly aimed to be taken on in multiplayer. However, they can be done solo, but they are a lot more easier when taken on in a group. Whilst village quests are only low rank quests, hub quests can be both low rank and high rank. And to progress the second half of Monster Hunter Rise's story, you'll be taking on hub quests. The next thing you need to be aware of when going into Monster Hunter Rise are the wire bugs. I've talked about these a fair bit in different videos, but a quick refresher is that wire bugs are a new traversal tool that allow you to grapple to pretty much any surface close to your hunter. These allow for fast movement, recovery and more. As a result of wire bugs being in the game, you'll notice that monsters are a little bit more faster, shall we say. It doesn't necessarily mean they're more difficult. Taking time and learning how to use your wire bugs, as well as the various silkbind moves which each weapon have available to them — silkbind moves are basically moves that utilize wire bugs — is something I would advise, as it allows you to take on monsters more effectively. And speaking of moves, Monster Hunter Rise introduces switch skills. These were not available in Monster Hunter World or Iceborne, but may seem familiar to those of you who've played Generations. Switch skills unlock as you progress through the game and basically allow you to customize your weapon's moveset slightly, allowing you to use different wirebug moves, silkbind attacks, and even normal moves. So when you unlock the switch skills, don't be scared to experiment to see which set of moves best suits your playstyle. The next thing you need to be aware of in Monster Hunter Rise is wyvern riding. This is a new mechanic that replaces the standard mountain found in previous Monster Hunter games. When it comes to wyvern riding, after you've hit a monster with a certain number of silkbind attacks or utilize certain endemic life, a monster will slump into a position where it can be wyvern rode. All you have to do is hit the monster with your weapon or press the circle or B button when your weapon is sheathed, and you should jump onto the monster's back. Afterwards, you can ride it to deal damage to other monsters, or you can send them careening into walls and other obstacles, similar to the flint shot found in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. This will allow you for some extra loot and extra damage during a hunt. It should also be noted that monsters who are not your primary target on the hunt are easier to put into the wyvern ride state than the actual monster you are hunting. Now the next tip I can give you, and one that will please a lot of Monster Hunter World players, is that gone is the random decorations. You can now craft the decorations that you want instead of having to rely on luck. However, there is a downside to this, as the charms and talismans you get in the game are now RNG and created at the Elder Melder. And finally, I should talk about spirit birds or spirit birds. These are little endemic life that are found in the environment that you naturally pick up by walking close to them. They will buff your stats, including your health, stamina, offense and defense. Now when you start off a hunt, unless it's an arena quest, it's going to take time to get all the spirit birds. However, you don't have to. You can, if you're confident enough, go straight for the monster and avoid the spirit birds, but if you do, you will be fighting them with a weaker hunter than if you spend the time getting the spirit birds. To be honest, for me personally, I like a little bit of a happy medium. I get a few of the spirit birds that are generally on the way to the monster, rather than spending too long trying to get all of them, or going for the monster straight away and ignoring the spirit birds. Now before I go, a quick reminder is that I have already made a lot of beginner guides to Monster Hunter Rise. They are found elsewhere on the channel. They were created when Monster Hunter Rise first came out on the Switch, but the same information for these videos applies to the Xbox, PlayStation and Game Pass versions of the game. So if there's anything you're unsure about, be sure to check them out. I'll leave a little list of the beginner guides in the description below. But until next time, I've been Darcblade, bringing you a few quick beginner tips to Monster Hunter Rise. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.